Hello again. I just want to why I don't like it. Not now anyway. This is a lovely story, and it's absolutely totally true. I think you'll love it. I hope so. I guess it's absolutely brilliant. One of my favourite mathematicians. This is a chap called Luca Pacioli. He was an Italian chap. Um, if you could have a list of people you want to meet, me personally, he's on my list with Tesla and a mathematician from Nottingham, but who's passed away in 1800. But this one in particular, um, you won't believe this story actually about um, we've all heard of Leonardo da Vinci and all this. Well, Leonardo da Vinci would not be him. Well, this chap, because Luca Pacioli is the guy. Trust me. Um, he when he was young, he knew he had to do something. Yeah, he knew in his mind and his art of arts, he was on this planet to do something, and maths was his thing. So none other. He put himself away and went to be a monk. He wasn't a religious fanatic. He just needed to get away from the norm and concentrate on maths, and that's what he did. And he's famous doing awful little bits of maths, but what I want to talk about is uh, the divine proportion. That's the one what is nobody knows about. But that's the book he wrote in 1511 or something. But he wrote start writing prior to that. It took him quite many years. And this book is so good. If everybody's heard of Fibonacci in around 1200 and incredibly great. And probably without Fibonacci, Luca Pacioli may not have come about. It's more of an add-on from that. But Luca Pacioli, he mastered it. He mastered the angles, and the angles he worked out. Everything in our brains, just like colours, it sends signals, chemicals to our brain, like a purple or lilac. It may not hate the colour, but it triggers off a chemical. Same with a certain frequency in our brains, and it's not just me. It really does. You can find it everywhere. Not the angles are. This is quite new. Well, 500 years ago. Um, angles does the same, and Luca Pacioli worked it out, and then he put it in defined proportion. And it's quite interesting when we see the black triangles, what we see on the UFO things, and the angles where UFOs are tilting and things. Is it something to do with old Luca Pacioli angles? Because there's some reason why black triangles are triangles. They're doing straight and round, and they wouldn't do them that shape unless there was some purpose to it. And Luca Pacioli worked out the angles, and I'll bring in Leonardo in a minute, because before that book turned about, Leonardo da Vinci never painted a single angle, not one, not one, not a single angle, and any of his sculptures or any of his paintings, not one. It's only when Luca Pacioli met, he heard, when Leonardo heard about Luca Pacioli. He says he was so enthralled by him. He says, "I'll put a picture in your book for free." And I think he did 12 or 13 pictures. Oh, I love this book. If I could ever win lottery, I'm buying this book. The original one's about 300 grand, but it's um, it's probably the best book ever made. And anyway, Leonardo painted every painting, 13 pictures for him because he was so enthralled. Because Lucas says to Pacioli, "You paint with these angles. Remember the and everybody said, "Oh, that means something." It means bug all. What it means, the angle, what you're looking at, it's affecting your brain. You will not do anything but like the painting. You'll be overthought. When you see Leonardo with that angle and all this, it doesn't mean he's meaning anything. He look like he's doing that. What he's doing is connecting with a person's brain who's looking at it, who can't help but be enthralled by it because it sets off a signal, a chemical in your brain that says, "Wow, that's beautiful," you know, and that's it. There's nothing. It is divine because it is a divine angle. So that respect, yes, it is. That's why you often see it religiously, because like Lucas says to him, it is a divine angle. It is a quite a godly thing to do. But well, Luca Pacioli, that would never come about. Leonardo would still been a great inventor and a great sculptor and a painter, no doubt he really was, but he wouldn't have been. The angle never existed. No, um, no. Leonardo was a genius, but Luca Pacioli were above. Yeah, he was the guy. Yeah, he spent many years on that one subject, and if you have to spend many years on one subject to be the best, and he really was. Yeah, let's say 500 years ago, and even to this day, people it'll be another 500 years where people realise the greatness to him. Yeah, absolutely brilliant. Let's say if you look at all the Leonardos, all those angles, and everything else, and try and get back to Leonardo's paintings, sculpture before then, there was not a single one. Not one. No, it's this guy. But, they're all good. They were all brilliant. Leonardo's a special person, but this is the guy what influenced that. Yeah. And also still influences today, I believe, through the triangle craft and everything else. And in fact, I often, when I think of things myself personally, I'll put an angle somewhere around me. Yeah. So anyway, I hope you like that. It's Luca Pacioli. It's totally true. The book's divine proportion. I don't know about the copies. I've seen little bits and I've read it many times. One day I'm hoping to win lodge and buy the proper one. I should just walk like that, cuddle it. But yeah, it's unfortunately it's in Latin. I think I don't read Latin. A little bit, a little bit of Latin. But anyway, I hope you like that. God bless. Thank you.